Hey, I've got some things to say. I've been putting off. Humidity has made that door bloat. Um, I guess I can say I've been putting off recording videos, making videos. But putting off kind of implies that I'm like supposed to, that I'm behind schedule. I'm moving into a phase of my life in which I set the schedule. So, I mean, here I go, nitpicking my words like I do, but I think it's important. I want to transform the way I feel that means changing the way I think, and that means editing my vocabulary. This to me is like the most important type of rehab that I can do. Rebuilding my thoughts by rebuilding my language. This is just for me. I'm a highly verbal person. That's my aptitude, but my focus, my obsession sometimes, what I enjoy. I think that language is powerful, I mean, for all of us, but I could also imagine someone who doesn't fixate on it quite like I do. So if you're not feeling oppressed by your own terminology, then it's not necessary for you to reform it, the words you speak. But I know that I frequently go to reuse concepts that frame my whole existence in ways that are not healthy, not helpful. to get over this. Maybe when I live in a new climate, eat different food, I don't know. Or maybe I just can't talk within an hour after eating or something. I don't know. I mean, that's another thing, but I'm putting you through it. At first I thought, well, this is going to be edited. This isn't going out, streamed out live, so I could edit out all the but what would be left? Streaming appeals to me because it is immediate. It just occurred to me that it probably echoes in here. Are you coming with me, or are you going the other way? And streaming, live streaming has its pluses and minuses. The last time I streamed from here, I did it vertically, which is the only way that, just based on my experience, I would say it's the only way that YouTube recommends videos, or sometimes it's about precision. Saying the only way is probably not apt. But when I stream vertically, like TikTok style, I get a lot of strangers checking in. When I stream horizontally, I get next to no viewers. So I like the immediacy of streaming, because then I don't have to have this file taking up space, taking it somewhere, editing it together, putting it online. That is work that is not necessarily worth doing. If it's not worth me doing that work, then why do I think it's worth it for anyone to watch? Let's just say the jury's out. Oh yeah, so the last time I streamed vertically, I was talking about my struggles, my difficulties, and someone, and I always like to think that whoever who's hopping on these apps and talking, age verification. This is not an argument in favor of age verification, but I just like to remind myself that they're probably kids. So, and they're just like killing time. It's the prank phone calls of today. And it's so much easier and less illegal. So anyway, somebody was just like, dude's like, you're living in a mansion and you're complaining about, and it's like, this isn't mine. I'm just staying here. I'm being given a place to stay. Also, a lot of people live in this big home. So, but I mean, I'm not going to argue. I think the term mansion is vague, but it's a large, nice house. But and then I'm trying to think if there were other unwanted. I mean, I have a gimbal. And I'm kind of tired of holding this up, but I don't want to sit down. I got problems, most of them are related to my chronic back pain, but that's we're gonna let this plant hold this if it will, or it could go down here, but that's I'm not sure if I'm going to need to flip the video before I share it. So I may, in fact, do some editing. I mean, as bad as if I post this, as bad as it will be, I will still have done some editing. One thing I think worth covering is, why do I post any of this at all? Why do I do this? And I was just talking about it yesterday. My boyfriend was saying that I don't have to feel, pressure to write or share what I'm going through. Priority number one is to be in it and feel it and benefit. And I agree. But like almost tied, or just being in it for me is sharing my experience. And then the question comes up, why? So one thing I just decided in my head, all this throat clearing that I hate putting that out. I just thought, well, what if I were a fictional character and that was just one of my traits? And like, I do weird things because I'm a character. Well, then, like, that's all right then. Not saying it's good or bad, but it's a, if I were a writer, which I aspire to be, then I will put my thoughts into characters, my actions, I'll create behaviors for characters. And they're not all going to be glorious, beautiful, celebrated, because I want them to be real. And in fact, I have one character idea who's very much like me, who's talking into vlogs or streams, or sharing their journey, although it's definitely not me, because the character that I have in mind does a lot of stuff I'll never do. But but I mean, now I'm thinking, I could give him or her I could give them some kind of, whether it's a tic or some kind of impairment that diminishes their, besides they're going to have some other impairment, whether it's chronic pain or something, neurodivergence, or they're going to have something that makes them suffering and out of step with their society. But then, like, because this drives me so crazy, then I'm thinking that could be part of that could be an aspect of the character, because I want this character to not be popular online. I want this character to have this pure heart vision of sharing and trying to make community, and believing that this is a space for all of us as we are, that there's nothing to be really embarrassed or ashamed of. We're all just people, and the more that we accept and embrace that, that we sort of improve our chances of survival. Okay, it's hot. But at the same time, like me, the guy knows that that they don't have much audience, and that there are things about their presentation that they feel they can't easily improve, that repels an audience, repels an audience. It got too hot, and like it's super early in the morning and it's too hot to be outside. I'll try to use the pool later. It's 8:20. So I decided not to stream right. So the positive of streaming is that it's immediate. But in some ways, it's less immediate than just clicking record, because I have to go through the YouTube rigmarole. And having just purchased plane tickets, I mean, that's not the reason. I was already sick of this site, but but you know how you in order not to spend the maximum amount of money on a ticket, you have to, are you sure? Like, yes, confirm over and over and over again. I mean, it's just bizarre that you make your selection, and then, I mean, on this particular site, and then the next page, like, it pops up, and then when you think you've got it settled, like, and you're going on to the next stage, it's like, are you sure you don't want to upgrade? And it's just so annoying, just the constant. And this is a company based in another country, so it's not just Americanitis, it's capitalism. It's probably everywhere, but I mean, I like to imagine that there might be some places that are good. Personally, I miss the days of just buying a ticket and there's only like first class or economy. Like, you don't have to make 20 choices. You just get your ticket and you get to bring a bag if you want to check it. You get to have a carry-on if you want. You get to, but now everything's individually monetized. And personally, I don't like going through so many decisions, and like, it's so I mean, they make it worse by second guessing your decisions. I was thinking about that with like how much time I waste clicking on, is it my phone or my laptop? I can't even remember right now, but like, let's just say you ask it to do something and it makes you reconfirm. So it's just these dialogues that like double your time spent, double your workload of just normal life tasks. And it's like, on the one hand, I get that you can sometimes hit a stray key on accident and maybe you don't want to shut down your computer now, but like, but at the same time, at least my laptop, you can't just hit the power button and it goes off. You have to like try to shut it down. So I don't understand why it needs to ask you, are you sure you want to shut down your computer now? This is my finite attention to language. I'll tell you, if you design a dialogue box ever in your life, I really, really, really hate when it goes red like you've entered it wrong while you're entering, say, your card number or your birth date or whatever. Like, you haven't gotten to the end and it's like an exclamation and written in red up until the point when maybe some people like that feedback because they know, oh, I've done it because it was accepted. The red went away. But personally, I feel like the number of times an automated system scolds me should be minimized, should be kept to a minimum. And I also don't like exclamation points. There are so many emails and other things that have exclamation points from corporations that really aren't justified. I'm focusing on this in part, because it's linked to, I have had a realization that well, I'm going to use that word expectations, but that I have expectations, like it's difficult for me to just be and just to accept life as it is. That I'm looking for extremes, positives and negatives. And in fact, when things are just in the middle, I'm bored or angsty, I'm like antsy, angsty. I'm wondering, what should I be doing to maximize my time, leisure time, work time? I have some sort of programming that makes me want to live stressed. And so several years ago, I established my new and current working definition for success. Success is feeling good being myself, or feeling good being oneself. And within that little phrase is, there's a lot to unpack, as people say. I don't really like that expression. I don't know why. But so something I've been thinking lately, like I'm benefiting from, I want to simplify how I look at life and what my goals are. And one of my current goals, I realize as I'm making big changes in my life, is that I'd like to learn how to stand up straight. That's it. Because it's more than about my body. It's more than about my core strength or lack of strength. It's more than about my pain and my spine. And, it is about my spirit. It is about shame. It is about feeling weighted down. It is about feeling guilty, feeling worthless, and if not the full maximum negativity, at least some of that. And I don't want to feel any of that, which is not to say I am not accountable for anything and everything I do, or whatever. But I want to separate accountability, which is learning to be better, from self-worth. So it's like the do and the is. I want to keep them clear in my mind that I have to feel good. I have to love myself in order to function well, to be my best, to embrace others, to love others. There's a RuPaul quote in there somewhere, and I got it wrong most of the time. But so learning how to stand, or being able to stand, is part of feeling good as myself. Just feeling good as a baseline, as something mandatory, as without having to have superlatives, like without having to perform. I think that's enough for now. I think I've opened a lot of topics, and my focus is divided. Just to wrap up one of them, I've reached a point, or I'm close to the point, where streaming live on the big sites doesn't please me. And I know that I have to do work to figure out the alternative that will work, and I don't have money. So one, I don't have money. I hope that will come across in the choices that I'm making and how I live. I watch people do their travel videos, and some of them really seem like showing off, and that's not what I'm about. I'm showing off my life. I'm revealing, I'm exposing, I'm sharing, I'm recording my honest life. And I don't think the corporate sites are the best places to do that. I want to encourage respectful community And that's not, I guess, natural here. It's not endemic to, because my values and goals are in conflict with those of the powers that be, the system. So it would be better for me to move to a Fediverse nonprofit site if I can get one of the video sites to accept me. I swear I've applied before and I didn't get it, and I don't quite know why. But I'm asking for something for free, or I'll, give a donation. But basically, I'm asking for permission I'm asking people to do work for me for free or for very little money. So that's problematic. Or it's a big ask, or it's a challenge or something. But I think it's doable because other people do it. I think the problem could come from the fact that once I'm up and running, I probably will want to produce a high volume. And that's a lot of bandwidth and a lot of storage space. But maybe I can not keep the streams up forever. So that would reduce the amount that's stored. And I mean, heck, maybe I'd even export them to the corporate sites where they have like limitless free space. I mean, that's like the only good thing to get out of them, is to use their resources. But as like my secondary focus, I want my primary focus to be sites that I believe in. I think I can do it. I just have to find the right fit, because I can't understand how to do it, set it up myself, and I can't pay for the I don't even know the names of it, but I guess hosted, whatever. I can't buy any of those packages that exist because they're outside of my budget. I'm spending down the only money I'll ever have unless I find a way to earn money. But I haven't earned money in years. Well, I make $22 a month from patrons. And I have occasional gifts of health insurance, and I have a gift of a phone, and a gift of, as of selling my place, a gift of free lodging when I'm in the US. But I don't want to be in the US. I want to be in Mexico, where I believe that I can heal. So that's what this site is about. So I can probably do something to make this video, compress the size of it, and yeah. And I can make some donations to some of the sites that I appreciate, since I just had a payday. But I can't do, or it's difficult for me to commit to recurring, because I don't have ongoing paydays. I have one that's my last one for a long time. And it wasn't that much. It makes me nervous, but I still want to push forward with my goals. One of my estranged quasi-relatives, when I informed them of my big decision. Now, my real relatives have been encouraging, but the person I'm thinking of, when I told them what I was doing, they're just like, "What? Why? What are you going to do for money?" And it's like, I'm going to live off of the money that I have. And I'll say, I'm of the opinion, I have this philosophy, and this will explain, why I'm leaving the country. I believe that things are so messed up, in part because the people who have the ability, the most power, the most privilege, the ability to make change, aren't devoting their resources, time, energy, money to it, to change. They're devoting their time, energy, and money to making money for themselves. And everybody says that that's okay or understandable because there's no community, there's no safety net, I'm sort of proving that wrong, because I've had certain things that I don't pay for, and others will step up. And then I know it sounds like I'm advocating a bum lifestyle. I don't know about that word, but how about something tame, not loaded, like mooch? No, I'm cashing in everything I have to make a change for me, because because there's not a movement I can join to fix here. I've been doing my little part by talking it for years, but yeah, I just have this belief that things won't improve until the people who care marshal their resources, like leverage to the maximum their resources in pursuit of improvement. And so I have said, ever since I was working a job, and I eventually became convinced that the jobs that I was working were making the world worse faster than the money that I was making, not just the world, but also me, in physical and mental health, but emotional, but spiritual. But but also the world and the country and society. So that, as long as we're playing by the established systems, or within the established system, then we are propping it up. And that is, so no matter what we say against it, we're like bifurcating our efforts. We're putting just as much, or I would say more, into the, we're creating our own destruction. We're creating our own opposition. We're funding it, and we're providing them the work to ensure that progress is not coming. And I think it's difficult to, I'm not going to make binary, polarized statements and say never ever, but there are, there's nuance to it. I think that some news or some of the leftist content that I get through conventional corporate platforms with ads, some of it I think is strong enough that it may outweigh the negative of being on a corporate platform which supports the corporate, that strengthens, and then all the ads. See, I think it's really, really hard to justify putting humanist messages in a dehumanizing package or delivery system. So, and I have little clips of things that I think are funny where someone states some really strong egalitarian principle and then cuts to an ad break. And so it's so much in the water that we're the goldfish of. It's so much part, just expected and not noticed that to even, it's just assumed to talk the way I do is is considered bizarre. Even on the Fediverse, when I talk about my anti-advertising principles, sometimes someone will pop up and say, well, how are people supposed to make money? How are creators supposed to survive? Blah, 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 blah. I get it. And I certainly don't know because I haven't figured it out. But I know in my life, in order to thrive as a creator, I was not able to both make money and be free to create. I was asked, sometimes directly, sometimes just societal pressure, whatever, but basically the bargain that I was asked to accept was giving up my principles and my freedom as an artist to find any compromise to make money. And at that point, it just doesn't become worth doing. So, but I don't require everyone to have these views. I do. And I think it's worth speaking up for them because they're so rarely heard. And I'm sure that people think, that there's a large number of people who would think that this is just ludicrous. But I hope to submit my slowly improving life as evidence that it's all wrapped together. And I mean, it's what I want to do. I want agency, and I don't want to do I don't want to do 9 things I don't want to do in order to do 2 things I do want to do. And that is just ingrained. That you have to do the unpleasant stuff in order to do what you want, in order to, I don't know, but I'm trying something different because I think that mindset perpetuates toxicity, harm, stagnant, I don't know, prevents improvement, prevents change. So I will keep doing these things and posting them somewhere, and I look forward to the day when I can post them somewhere non-corporate. And I think as I've now gone 16 minutes longer than I intended, I think another thing I can do to, I think, so here's an example, doing things you don't want to do in order to do the things you do. I can discipline, not my favorite word, I can initiate a practice of limiting the length of time that I talk. Even though I think it's good to go on and let my ideas pour out, when I'm using a site that relies on community resources, I believe that I can adopt a the word limit comes to mind, but like a principle to not hog the resources. Because I am just talking extemporaneously. And I could go on the corpo sites when I just feel like I need to unload, or maybe I can stream but not save the finished product, which that'll be difficult for me because I can adjust. I like to have it if I happen to I think I can adjust because I don't go back and I do sometimes go back and rewatch old things to be reminded, but I can treat it like a therapy session that's not recorded and just do it. Yeah, so these are goals. I'm getting close to a 50-minute video. That will be difficult to upload, maybe. Okay, that's enough. I'm not going to go back and find the unfinished threads and finish them. I'm just gonna say love and goodbye.